With the presbyopic boom that's upon us, roughly 4 million new presbyopes will be entering your offices each year seeking vision care. All of us know the extreme need that we have for a truly functional bifocal or multifocal soft contact lens, and heretofore there really hasn't been one available to you. After about 3 years of research, the scientists at Barnes-Hind have developed what we believe to be a truly unique back surface aspheric lens. This lens, designed as a 14.8 millimeter 9.0 base curve, very thin draping design, seems to be functioning the way we want. That is to say, with the quality of vision that your patients so badly need as a prime objective. We recognize, however, that the ease of fitting is more than just putting a lens onto the eye. We realize that any new modality requires a heavy emphasis on education. That's why this tape is being prepared for you today. We'd like you to take a look at the tape, refer to the fitting guide, and we have no doubts that most of the questions that you would have would be answered. If not, we implore you to call us, call our consultation department, and let us answer the questions for you. We obviously wish you the greatest success with the new Hydrocurve 2 bifocal contact lens.
That lens looks good. And again. Today we wanted to go through a trial lens fitting with the Hydrocurve 2 bifocal lens. Of course, by this time you've determined that the candidate is a good candidate for the bifocal lens, using, of course, your own expertise and some of the criteria as outlined in the bifocal fitting guide. We have with us today a 51-year-old presbyope. She is a receptionist. She has what I would describe as moderate near-point demands. She does a lot of paperwork, a lot of desk work. She wears habitually Hydrocurve 2 45% water lenses on a daily wear basis. She wears a +150 in the right eye and a +175 in the left eye. Her basic refraction is +150 minus a quarter axis 30 in the right eye, and a +175 minus a quarter axis 165 in the left eye. She has a 175 add, and she refracts to 20/20 in both eyes. Now, as with any trial lens fitting, you want to select a lens which is equal to or slightly more plus than the vertex-corrected subjective refraction. In Mrs. M's case, we've chosen a +150 bifocal lens for the right eye and a +175 lens for the left eye. We will go ahead and put the lenses on and then allow about 10 or 15 minutes for equilibration of the lenses. It has been approximately 15 minutes since we applied the lenses to the patient's eyes, so they've had enough time to equilibrate to the conditions of the eye. What we want to evaluate at this time are the centration and the movement properties of the lenses. We expect to see approximately 1 millimeter of movement of the lenses, and that is optimum physiologically from the standpoint of being able to flush out any waste products and debris from behind the lens, of course, and also from an optical standpoint it seems to be optimum for quality optics of the lenses. A lens which is much tighter than that can result in poor optical quality, and a lens which is much looser than that can result in fluctuating vision. So we will evaluate centration and movement at this time. If you would put your chin in the chin rest there, please. Now look up to the ceiling for me and blink. That lens looks good. And again, look up and blink. Good. Well, the lenses do move about 1 millimeter and they're centering very well. There is overlap of the lenses onto the bulbar conjunctiva, which is optimum for comfort. Now, at this point in time, we would begin the over-refraction. I should mention that retinoscopy is difficult with this lens and is due to the progressive power change within the pupil area when the lens is being worn. So we are just going to do an overrefraction, spherical overrefraction monocularly without the use of retinoscopy. And we know the lenses are approximately what the patient needs, since we know the vertex-corrected subjective refraction is very close to the powers of the contact lenses that we have inserted in the patient's eye. We'll start out with the right eye. We'll add just a quarter diopter of plus to make sure that she's not too over-minused. I'll project the 20/30 line to make sure that the patient can read the line. Is that line readable?
Yes, it is.
Does this make it a little worse?
Yes, it does.
So I added plus 50, plus a half diopter to make sure that the patient was not over-minused. And I will leave that in there so that we can proceed after we're done with the left eye with the overrefraction. We will keep that fog in the lens bank in order to balance properly. Let's go over to the left eye. Is that line at all readable?
Yes, it is.
Does that make it a little fuzzier?
A little fuzzier, yes.
Okay, so we'll leave that there. Now we will apply 3 diopters of prism base down on the left eye, 3 diopters of prism base up on the right eye, and induced diplopia for the balance. And again, it's important to maintain that fog in the lens banks. Do you see 2 lines down there?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I want you to compare the readability and the clarity of the letters. Top line versus the bottom line. Are they about the same, or does one seem to be a little better than the other?
One seems to be a little better.
Is it the top or the bottom?
The top.
Okay. How about now? How do they compare in readability?
They're about the same.
Okay. So I added plus a quarter diopter to the better left eye, and now both eyes should be equally balanced. Next, we will remove the prism dissociation. Close your eyes, please. We will then remove the plus 50 fogging lenses. We'll move from the 20/40 line to the 20/30 line, and we'll have the patient open her eyes and try to read the line. Can you read that line?
Yes, I can.
Good. Let's go to the 20/25 line. Try to read that line for me, please.
APECTF.
Good. Next, I'll project the 20/20 line to see if she can make any letters out there. Are you able to read some of those letters?
Yes.
Now, does number 2 make the letters more readable, or are they about the same as number 1?
It seemed a little better.
Seemed a little better with number 2.
Yes.
Good. Try to read the letters for me then.
TZVECL.
Okay, good. So in the overrefraction, we have in the right eye minus a quarter and plano in the left. The distance acuity binocularly is 20/20. And I think it's best to just record the binocular visual acuities, as the binocular summation with these lenses seems to have a very profound effect on the improvement of acuity over monocular conditions. The next step is possibly the most crucial step of the trial lens fitting process. The step calls for actually putting the overrefraction lenses in the trial frame, taking the near acuity, and then having the patient actually go outdoors and experience the vision with the lenses on. Have her look at distance objects such as road signs, license plates, and so forth. And then after that, we'll have her sit down for a while and read a magazine. First of all, the near acuity is taken. Take the card, please. What is the highest line that you can read there?
The top line.
Okay, try to read it for me.
I walked up the street, gazing about, until near the market house I met a boy with bread.
Okay, excellent. That's J2 on the near point card. So we'll have the patient get up, go outdoors for about 5 minutes, experience the vision with lenses at distance. We have a magazine for her to read for about 5 or 10 minutes. We'll have her back into the examination room thereafter, and we'll get a response from her on how she feels the lens is performed. Well, you had a chance to test the vision with the lenses. I see that you are reading okay.
Yes, very well.
Good. How was the distance vision with the lenses on?
The distance was also very good.
Terrific. Well, it would appear as though the subjective impression by the patient is very positive, so she would be a very good candidate for the bifocal contact lenses. Now, if the patient did experience a little bit of difficulty, either at distance or at near, then it would be at this point in time that you would want to make any adjustments to the over-refraction, either by adding a little minus binocularly for distance or some plus for near. In Mrs. M's case, we will order for the right eye a +1 1/4 bifocal contact lens. For the left eye, we will order a +1 75, since the over-refractions were -1/4 in the right and plano in the left. Now, it'll take about a week for us to get the lenses. Now, today we have a 63-year-old gentleman who was dispensed his Hydrocurve 2 bifocal lenses 1 week ago. He's here today for his 1-week follow-up visit. Prior to being fit with his Hydrocurve 2 bifocal lenses, he was wearing the Hydrocurve 2 lenses on an extended wear basis, but now with the bifocals, he's wearing them on a daily wear basis. At each of these first follow-up visits with each patient that we fit, we have them fill out a questionnaire. And this questionnaire is really for our benefit to find out exactly how well the lens is performing.
Well, I do a lot of reading and paperwork, business plans, and I need to be able to read comfortably, and a great mass of material. Much of it is fine print. I really didn't require time at all. Within the first day, I was very comfortable with them, both as to the fact that they were bifocal and also the ability to use them. With the other lenses, the single vision lenses, I had to use what you call a half eye, the Ben Franklin, to read. And that tended to make the contact lens less desirable because I still needed glasses. Whereas with the bifocals, all but the very finest print I can do without any extra glasses. I don't think it's a function of any problem with the lenses. I just have the sense that sometimes if they were a little bit stronger, I might be able to read the street signs better or the house numbers or that sort of thing.
But generally, it does fulfill most of your requirements with night driving.
It sure does.
Do you get many of those, much ghosting or double images with the lenses?
I don't get that problem at all. Very comfortable.
Good, terrific. Well, that's basically what you want to find out at the follow-up visit. You want to get a response from the patient in terms of the quality of the vision. You also want to make sure that you want to find out if the vision seemed natural from the beginning, if it required much adaptation. Generally, we've found that with the contact lenses on, vision does seem natural, that in fact very little adaptation time is necessary. You then would continue with the other procedures involved in any soft lens follow-up visit. Take visual acuities, you want to do an over-refraction, perform a slit lamp examination, keratometry, so on and so forth. The follow-up visits from this point on, as outlined in the fitting guide, would be for 3 weeks after lens wear, then 3 months after lens wear, and then each 6-month period thereafter. So I think that if indeed you do follow the 10 steps as outlined in the trial lens fitting procedure in the bifocal guide, that you will find a good percentage of success with this bifocal lens.